Hey, what is up, Mental Health Nation? This is a pop-up podcast going to surprise you because I'm on the road tomorrow. I'm traveling to DC to attend the Emmys on Saturday, so I'm super excited about that. There'll be a whole bunch of pictures. As you can see, I got somebody in the room with me. It is a real person. That's not a ghost. You're going to find out exactly who she is, and she's such an amazing person and a great friend, and I'm so happy that I suckered her into coming on the show by offering her free drinks. So it's really great. But yeah, I know, right? But hey, as always, Reads Across America, you got the little QR code up there. You can scan it. You can donate to Reads Across America. It's what a great program. Where they ensure that the wreaths are on the tombstone of all the veterans that have passed away. That's what Reads Across America does. It's like $5. You can donate for it, and they ensure it's done. Now, I'm in the area of Arlington Cemetery, but at the Oversell Arlington Cemetery, then obviously they're going to send those wreaths out to other veteran cemeteries all across the United States. So super excited about that. But along with that, you guys know this, if you listen to the program, on Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m., Reads Across America Radio replays my podcast. And that's super easy to find. Just download iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the Odyssey app, and you search for Wreath, which is the number one search engine on that, for Reads Across America Radio. And you can catch not only my program, but all the great programming they have. And along with that, you can go out to VeteranTrashTalk.com. There's scrolling down at the bottom. You can get all of our great T-shirts. I'm wearing one tonight. They're great, popular. Quit being a triggered pansy. It's our most popular shirt.
Yeah, I like it.
It's fun to wear in the airport. Such a good time.
Yeah.
But with that, as you can see, I have this lovely lady sitting next to me, and she's going to introduce herself, Esther. So thank you for coming on the program tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
This is my first time ever being on a podcast. Really
so,
glad
so
that
we're breaking your podcast show tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that, but I was trying to be a little PC.
No, that's okay.
Okay,
that's
cool.
Okay. Yeah.
We're kind of setting the tone here. I like.
Yeah, we just can't cuss too much because of the radio program.
Okay.
But if you say something like in the heat of the moment, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You just can't say the F-bomb every 2 seconds because then it won't replay.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I'm really excited to be here with you guys. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. We're just
It'll
going to
come
go
up.
with it. But I'm Esther Vanderhoff in the United States Navy for 12 years. I am from South Mississippi. That is in the deep south of the United States. Some of you may be familiar with Biloxi, the poor man's Riviera, or the former seafood capital of the world. But
What's that,
from the
Biloxi
south,
Blues,
I'm
the
proud.
movie? Biloxi, what's
You know
that?
why you would bring up something I don't know? There is a John Grisham novel called The Biloxi Boys. It's actually really good.
There's a movie with the guy that played Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And that was it Biloxi Blues?
The guy that played Ferris Bueller?
Yeah.
I know his face, but I don't remember his
Maybe
name.
that was him. I don't remember.
I'm going to
Anyway,
check
if
it out
anybody's
because I
listening,
love
check it out.
Biloxi. So.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I've been down there several times. I've enjoyed it.
Anyway, thanks for having me on.
Matthew Broderick.
Okay.
Matthew Broderick.
Oh,
That's who
nice.
he's talking about. I get that's a little bit before you die. Go back and watch it. I'm sure you'll have one night you get a little nostalgic when you watch an old movie.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Or
No,
Biloxi
well, both
Boys?
of them.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that's a good one.
I keep confusing it with The Breakfast Club. It's all the same.
Oh yeah, The Breakfast Club. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
It's all right. It wasn't bad. I remember that one. I was a little bit. I don't remember when that came out. I don't remember how old I was.
I'm pretty sure I was pretty young. And then I had to catch up with my all stuff later.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I don't remember it. The 90s were a blur.
The old 90s. But hey, listen, if you're tuning in, if you've been watching my mental health breaks this week, I've been talking about helping friends and just kind of being there for each other. It's summertime and it can be a rough time for people. A lot of things can go on, sometimes with changes and stuff. And so what you guys don't know is, of course, you guys know I washed Pepe's car, my friend Pepe. I cleaned his car up, got it looking brand new again. And then Esther was at one of my son's baseball games visiting Crystal. And
That's how we met.
yeah, that's how we met. Poor girl. She's gonna need lots of therapy being friends with me after a while. I forgot to tell you.
Oh yeah, I was expecting your bill in the mail.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought that's what we were doing earlier.
No, you didn't even send me one.
Well, cheers.
Yeah.
At least it's reciprocal.
Anyway, so in that conversation, so now I'm helping her learn, not just doing it, but helping you learn how to detail your car. We're going to work on your Harley motorcycle and get it up and running back up to speed. So I'm looking forward to that. So
Me too.
when I come back, get that battery and we'll get it running, and that way we know that. That's right.
I got the bucket and everything. We're gonna do it.
That's right.
So nothing the little Dawn soap can't handle.
So, two things. One, if anybody comes on later and they want to talk, they'll screen here.
Mhm.
We'll see it, and I'll answer them on my iPhone.
That is neat.
And then this is our private chat that only us gets on.
Oh, cool.
I guess I should have said that before the show started.
You know what? You didn't say anything, but it's cool.
Well, I didn't want to. Your intel, right? So I don't want to give you too much information.
Yeah,
You have to figure it out. You have
Keep
to
me
kind
on
of draw it out of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
See what it is.
No, that's fair. You like to keep me on my toes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Try to catch me flat-footed. You just might. It's like 9, 10 o'clock here.
Yeah, you're normally in bed.
Normally I'm asleep.
Yeah, and it's funny because I said, Esther, can you come on the show? And she says, yeah. What I forgot to tell her is we're only going to see you from the the waist up because we're going to be sitting down. And you dressed up so nice. So thank you for dressing up so nice.
Of course, yeah.
I mean,
Wanted to represent.
I felt really bad when you came to the door and I answered it, and you're all dressed up nice and got nice shoes on and everything. I'm like, oh, by the way, we're just going to be sitting down.
Well, that's okay. It would have felt weird wearing this shirt with a pair of shorts. Like, I know that was the COVID thing, but I never did it.
You didn't?
I'm either one way or the other. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had my uniform on, just a jacket and shirt, and I had shorts on.
Yeah, nice. I never did that.
You didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to remember not to stand up.
No, it was always Teams, audio, and no visual.
Baptized by Fire, what's that? Is that a show? Lexi, have you seen that one, Baptism by Fire?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Baptized by Fire.
Oh, no, that's you joining the podcast.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's exactly right.
So tell me, how was it growing up in Biloxi, Mississippi? Now, you don't have an accent.
Oh, yeah.
Did you lose your accent? See, I get my accent when I go back home.
Do you really?
Oh,
Is that what it sounds like?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I won't hold that against you. No, I never had an accent. Actually, I was confused why people had an accent. So, just a disclaimer to the
But your whole life you lived there, right? Ever
Yeah,
since you was
right.
a child, yeah.
Just a disclaimer. I was kind of different even for my hometown. Like, I didn't have an accent, and then when I went to high school, folks that I was in middle school with, which this is, I guess I was shamefully unpopular, but they didn't know who I was, and they thought that I moved there because I didn't have an accent.
Yeah.
Because most people in my school had an accent. So I didn't mind. I was very cognizant that there was a stigma associated with being from the South and having an accent, and I knew
There's
I
a
wasn't
lot of
gonna
truth
stay
to that.
there. Yep. And I didn't want to leave and go to other parts of the world and sound ignorant. So I'd rather keep my mouth shut and keep that to myself. So cheers. Yep.
Cheers.
Blowing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. We'll go with that.
I had to bring it up on Facebook on my phone, and it was playing in my ears.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm old and deaf, so.
I'm not mad at you. So I'll be there one day. I'll catch up. Throwing her into the deep end. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. So growing up in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Biloxi.
Oh, yeah, right? That's where you're at, right?
Biloxi, yep.
Biloxi. I was testing you and you passed.
No.
See? Your hearing's
Keeping me
just
on my
fine.
toes.
Your hearing's just fine.
Thanks, Beth.
I will tell you that she has some amazing tattoos, and I wish Lynn was on tonight, but Lynn's she's out traveling right now. She's flying because Lynn has some really great tattoos.
Oh, I wish I saw them.
Yeah, she
Maybe
has
I'll
some really
meet
good
Lynn.
ones. Yeah, you
I guess
come
I
back
would
on sometime
meet her
when she's on.
the video.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she'll come to Italy. She might. I don't know.
Does she normally talk on the podcast?
Yeah, she's my co-host sometimes when
Okay.
she can.
Yeah,
she's
that
very
makes sense.
busy. She does a lot of things.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, wouldn't it
she
be weird if she was dialing in from the plane right now?
right?
Like
And then they have a whole lot of turbulence going on. And
Yeah,
like she's just like
God
bouncing
knows
around.
what's going on. Well, I mean, you can do that with the Wi-Fi. That would actually make for a pretty interesting podcast.
Yeah.
I challenge you to do that one day.
Yeah.
I would be interested in
Try that. Guess we could try that. I'm flying out tomorrow, so maybe we could
Yeah, you could
go ahead and do a Wednesday class. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Not good with that. But what motivated you growing up in Biloxi?
And now you're going to do it just
I know,
as
I am.
Biloxi. Biloxi was named after the Biloxi Indians.
I'm trying to learn Italian with a country accent.
Oh, perfect. No, you were.
You know, say
you were-
buongiorno.
You had me convinced with the numbers. Cinquecento. I don't remember what you
Cinque.
said. Cinque,
Yeah.
due.
Yeah, say, sete.
Yeah, I speak that language. No, growing up in Biloxi, What was the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to get to the point where what made you decide to join the Navy and not the Army?
So it's funny.
Or the Marines?
There was nobody.
You were overqualified to be in the Marines.
No, God, I was underqualified for so many things. I didn't have a formal education for several years until I entered into public school. And I lived way out in the sticks in a rural area. That was mostly how I was brought up. But when I was a little girl, I thought that the military in general was called the Army. And so I was going to join the Army when I grew up.
Because everybody plays Army, they don't play Navy.
Yeah, exactly. So I was going to join the Army, and I didn't know what, at the time, it was amphibious raids, but I had this vision of myself on the deck of a ship while it was conducting an amphibious raid, and I just knew that that's what I wanted to do when I grew up. Yeah. So.
And look at you now, 12 years in.
Yeah, I just, that feeling stayed, and I finished up my associate degree, and college is very expensive. So I said, hey, the Navy can pay for it, and they did. So I enlisted, and then fast forward 5 years after commissioned, and then here we are.
So you went through the Navy OCS program?
I sure did.
Candidate school.
Boot camp and OCS, yes.
Okay. How long is the Navy OCS?
3 months.
3 months. Okay, so it's about the same as the Army. The Army was it was 16 weeks when I was, because I managed that when I was years and years ago for U.S. Army Sessions Command.
Were you a drill sergeant?
No.
No, that's too bad. That would have been fun.
No, I got a lot of friends that was.
Yeah, I believe it.
Now, before I came a warrant officer, I was a staff sergeant promotable.
Promotable?
Mm-hmm. To E7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was where you were at whenever you got selected for the warrant program. Cool.
Yeah, because back then in aviation, some aviation, to become a warrant, you had to have 10 years in service with at least 6 years in the feeder MOS that feeds into the warrant officer MOS.
Nice, okay.
To get into it, yeah. So there was specific requirements you have to go through. You
made the right decision.
I did.
I wish that I was a warrant officer. I'm not. I went through OCS.
What are you, lieutenant?
You guys, I am.
Are you?
I'm an 03E.
Yeah.
I'm an 03E.
Yeah, just for your Army guys out there, lieutenant isn't, an 01 or 02.
I think my ex-husband forgets that. He's in the Army and he's a captain, and anyway, God bless his soul.
Yeah, but he's not a 06.
He's not a lieutenant, and he's not a 06. But yeah, no, that's exactly right. So 03E. Hey, hopefully I pick up in the next year or so.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Not to major, but lieutenant commander. So we'll see.
That's a pretty big jump in the Navy, make lieutenant commander.
Nice little jump in pay. $1,000 pay rate or pay increase.
Yeah, it's a nice little jump in pay.
Yeah. I'll put that in my kid's 529.
There you go.
I'll put the QR code up later. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but sure. Hey, Chris, go ahead and shoot that up
there. Cheers to that, kiddo. If I have it my way, she'll go to Columbia in New York. There are 18 engineering programs in Columbia, New York, and she's half Turkish, so there's flights. Plan what future fare my daughter is going to want to do. There are flights direct from JFK to Istanbul for under $1,000, and Columbia is what I know Ivy League's for the football. I don't expect she'll play football, but it's a good school. So I'm trying to. That's where my 529 is that I in New York. I set up for her. So we'll see what she actually wants to do. She's got 2 MGI bills to choose from.
Yeah.
She's got the 529. She's got a UT. And then probably a lot more by the time we start considering that. She's already got a car too. Can you believe
it? Wow. And she's 11.
Yeah, she's 11.
Right?
So I'm just waiting on her. It's gonna be my car, of course, but. I'm going to get a truck. Here you go.
Where are you from, Mississippi? You're supposed to have a truck.
I know, right? I got to have a truck to pull my RV and my motorcycle.
That's right. And your boat, your helm.
Yeah, well.
That's your home.
I'm going to trade out the RV for the boat. By the time I'm sufficient living in small spaces with the RV, I'm going to live on maybe I'll live on my sailboat. I'll be a monohull skipper.
There you go.
And then I'll sail around.
Nice. I was at Fort Monroe, and I lived there for about 9 years. And one night we was at, because I lived across the street from Marina, so it's always on the Marina, whatever. And this guy with a sailboat comes in. It was a 40-foot long sailboat, very nice sailboat. And so I just started visiting with him. And he was a ex-Vietnam veteran pilot.
That's cool.
And literally and he does intel work, but he does it on his computer on his boat, and he literally sails all around the world.
Yeah.
and that's all he does.
That's the
He
dream
says,
right there.
He says, "I'll die on the sailboat."
That's awesome. No, you mentioned that. My neighbor in Biloxi, his name is Thad Anderson. Shout out to him. God love him. He and Carolyn, they're awesome. They're like my family. He's also a Vietnam vet. It reminds me of him. He was a naval flight officer doing like jamming on the A4, providing those effects during the Vietnam War. And he's got plenty of stories about QB Point and Subic Bay and just different military.
Crystal's neighbor in Chicago was a tunnel rat in Vietnam.
Really?
And he talks about how he would climb down into the tunnels. He would throw the grenade and he'd pull the rope and they would gun the boat and pull him back out of the tunnel.
Oh my God. That's cool. I mean, that's scary.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine.
Like going into a tunnel, I would be afraid that it would collapse.
Yeah.
Honestly, on me.
Or they would just pull it up. I'm
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure they were all booby trapped all the time. I couldn't imagine.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't know they already had tunnels. I thought they always had to dig them fresh.
No, they ever since the French War they've had tunnels there.
Yeah, I believe that. So the Peaky Blinders,
the series on Netflix.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tommy Shelby, the main character, he was a tunneler. Maybe that war, I don't remember. But yeah.
It
was really cool because they did little vignettes into the show about how he was a tunneler and how he would encounter the adversary.
What the story's about, not the actor, the actual, the guy the story.
Exactly. Yes. I'm sorry. It's a part of the plot.
I'm kind of slow.
No. Sometimes. Well, I'm feeling this just a little bit. No. So blame it on me. But no. So it's a part of the plot, and he obviously has PTSD. He's going to sleep, and I don't know what he's smoking, but he smokes some stuff to calm down and go to sleep. And he has nightmares every night of like the pickaxes from the adversary on the other side of a very thin wall. That they're trying to.
Well, they talked about that on the show.
Connect
at one point when he was dreaming or something, right? On the actual Peaky Blinders show that they talked about that.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. No, I thought it was a really good depiction of PTSD.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's one thing I talk about. One thing about it is you have PTSD, and when you get triggered, it's in an instant. It's like the most vivid dream comes back to you in a second.
Yeah.
And you'll never forget it. Like 9/11, I remember every single thing I did on 9/11. I remember the smells, I remember the things I crawled over. Hey, Chris, we're getting background noise. Is that coming from you?
It sounds like somebody's not too happy with you.
Yeah, it's fine. But when you have PTSD, that's the thing about it. And it's one thing I talk about on shows is, the triggers never seem to happen when everything's going good. Right? It always seems like when something's happening bad, then it just piles on. And so what you have to learn to do is break that cycle. Yeah. And that's one of the things I talk about. And you guys go back, watch the podcast. I talked about this is, you never know what's going to happen. So you need to have different tools in your toolbox. So you can just grab something that'll help you right at the moment. Right. And you kind of have to learn and look inside yourself to do that. And it's very hard. And it's just like what he was talking about when at the show, if I remember right, if you hear a certain noise, it brings you back, or a certain smells are huge. And of course, sometimes for fire. Now, if you were triggered by PTSD with fireworks, don't come to LA because they literally shoot fireworks off your.
No kidding. I know. I think about that all the time.
And it was crazy. Did you watch fireworks on New Year's Eve?
Not this net.
For 3 hours.
I deliberately go to sleep to avoid all of that ruckus. Anyway, 3 hours.
Yeah. It was crazy all the way around. I got video on my phone of it all the way. I mean, it was cool to see.
I mean, isn't it for Tuesday night in Naples, Italy?
Yeah. that means the drugs came in.
Yeah.
Did you know? That's what Pepe told me.
Oh, yeah?
When they shoot fireworks off, sometimes that means that the drugs have made into the port.
What kind of drugs?
Whatever.
Sorry, I don't mean to worry you there. Maybe I'm interested. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's see. The port's that way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, but that's what he told me, that when the drug shipments, because the Carbonara is still pretty, not the Carbonara, that's the cops, but the mafia is still pretty big around here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I was stationed in Italy the first time down in Signorina, that was one of the things.
It's pretty down there, right? I haven't been down there.
Oh, gorgeous. I'm from a rural area. The bases are in the middle of, like, Orange Grove Farms. There's Mount Etna, where in March you can go snowboarding. Snoreboarding if you prefer. Anyway,
Fall
you
asleep
can
while
go.
you're
You can snowboard,
Yeah.
and then you can go down to water level and you can go diving. Because
That's cool.
yeah, I mean, there's everything. There's the volcano that's active,
Mhm.
which is really pretty to look at night when it's all aglow with like the orange lava. Where was I going with that? Sicily, backing up. Oh, that was the first time I was in Italy. There was a point. There was a reason why I brought that up. I'm sure it'll come back to me. Anyway, Sicily was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
We're talking about drugs.
That's I don't know what the connection was, but it'll come back to me randomly later, and then it'll just
pop. It happens to me all the time. It just pops in my head.
You know,
what was it?
It happens to me all the time now too. Like way too much.
Have you seen the study where you know how it is sometimes you'll go from one room to the next, but you forget why you were going to that room to begin with?
I live it, yeah.
You know why that is? Because your brain is set to, once you walk through that threshold, to reset itself to remember what's in the room you're walking into.
I didn't know that.
And so that's why you forget about what you were thinking about when going to the next room.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, we recommend Sicily. Oh, the Mafia.
Yeah,
Yep. There was a Signal Inn. Yep. Across from NAS 1, Signal Inn. I think it had to have been 16, 17, because I sponsored one of my fellow NCOs, and she was there, and it was shortly after she stayed there, and the greatest thing about this place, which, by the way, they had a pool that had a bar. You could stay in the pool and just swim or walk right up to the bar, have your drink, whatever, and then you could just keep swimming. So it was very popular in the summertime.
Drowning.
Hopefully nothing bad.
Yeah.
But it was so packed, I think if something did happen, there's probably somebody there that could help you. Anyway, they found connections to the Mafia. And so they ended up keeping it so that at least the Navy, probably the DOD in general, they were no longer allowed to use Sigonella Inn across from Naval Air Station 1. So, but
is that still the case today or no?
I don't know, but
Can you find out? Call somebody. Don't you know somebody?
Yeah, let me. Right on.
Yeah.
No. I honestly think that if you start, this is a good place for conspiracy theories.
Throw it out there. We love a good conspiracy theory.
Oh boy.
They will be all over it.
I'm sure if you dig far enough into anything, you'll probably find ties to the Mafia here.
Because
it's family. You can't get away from it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just if you're too close in proximity and it's not a good optic, then you have to do something about it.
Sure.
But it's unavoidable pretty much.
Well, and that's you think about it. So of course Naples kind of always had a bad reputation, with the trash everywhere and stuff, and then you realize that it's ran by the Mafia.
Yeah.
But then when you go to other cities, you don't quite have that same problem with the trash everywhere. It's very clean. Like Trieste is very clean.
Yeah.
Rome's a touristy area, but I mean it's not bad. But it's a lot of fun.
Well, they're going to keep that clean because Rome is the destination.
Yeah.
So people are going to go there.
Yeah, millions of people go there every year.
Yeah. From all over the world. Who doesn't want to go to Rome? From any country.
That's true. But the best time to go to Rome, I will tell you this because we were there. So we came out in last December, mid-December, me and my older son. And we went to Rome right around Christmas time, right after Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah. What's nice about that?
New Year's?
Yeah. But after New Year's, after January 1st, and everybody goes back to work, Rome's a ghost town. And so, you go to Colosseum, Trieste Fountain, all that stuff.
Okay.
There's, nobody around.
That is good gouge.
And it's not cold here.
It's
not even cold. It's in the 50s here in the wintertime, 55. It's not cold.
I bet it's good weather, too, because it's before the rain season.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
And
that is good gouge.
So, literally, we were walking around, Junior and I, everywhere, and not with crowds.
I'm glad Junior was able to come out. I didn't know Junior had visited already.
Yeah, he came out. He came out on his winter break.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. He may come back out. I don't have to talk to him. He's working a lot.
Yeah, I believe it. They got their own thing going on, but I mean, this is the best time for him to come out here and stay with you guys and come see Europe. I mean, not a lot of people, like me growing up, I didn't have the opportunity to see other countries.
I never did. There's people that I went to that still live in the town I live in that have never left the Fort County area.
Yep, there's it's
well, you probably get that too down there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, so you said the population was around 6,000.
Yeah, the town I grew up in, and still around 6,000 people.
No kidding. Nope. The town that I grew in, it wasn't, or that I grew up in.
That town he grew in.
Yeah, I
You
know.
grow in that town.
I was entertained by
See,
that one.
see, it's sneaking out now.
Yeah. Anyway, no, it's got 30,000 people, and about a third of it, there 2/3 is probably white, and a third of it's probably black.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I going with that? See, it's happening again. Anyway, it was a town called Wiggins. Whenever I was growing up, from like middle school and high school. By the way, some of you may know Stone County.
Mm-hmm. Those are Stone County where I used to live.
No kidding?
Yeah, down by Branson, Stone County. Yep.
Oh, nice. By Branson, Missouri.
Yep.
Huh. Never been up there, but.
You mean down there? Well, I guess it's across from here and then down. But yeah, okay. From Italy.
Yeah, I'm imagining I'm in Mississippi right now.
Oh yeah, from Mississippi it's up. Yeah, you're correct. Yeah.
I'm still down in Mississippi.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh boy.
I was thinking from Italy going down here. That's funny.
Yeah, no, over there, across the pond.
Down over yonder.
Over yonder, yeah. You know you're in the right place when you start hearing the banjos.
Mm-hmm.
You got the.
And you start paddling faster.
Yeah. Oh, there's
a bumper sticker.
Well,
if you hear the banjos, paddle faster.
Yeah, I mean it's true. There's a place, and I've been. It's not Mary Mahoney's because I thought that was the name of the place. But I've been trying to find this place since before I left. I was actually on the Mississippi Gulf Coast before I came out here in Naples, Italy. Mm-hmm. And I had a good friend who, anyway, he's got his own business now. But before I left, he invited me out with his family. Really good people, Dabrowskis. But they went to this restaurant and they invited me out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go, but I haven't been to it and I want to go because this restaurant, you can actually take a canoe and you can just kind of canoe or kayak or whatever. You can boat up to the side of the dock. Yeah. You can get out on the dock and then it's like swamp, Mississippi Sound terrain or water space. And then you can get out on the dock and then walk up to the restaurant. I think that's the coolest thing. And the next time I go to Mississippi, that is where I want to go because I've never been. So
shout out to Alicia, who's my Italian instructor, who's listening in right now. So she says you need to start speaking Italian so I can practice.
Okay.
Because don't you know Italian? You know a little bit,
unfortunately,
right?
no. And I didn't mention that.
I could say meet. What did I say? We did this today. I should have brought my notebook in here. I could say, what was it? Mi chiamo.
Mi chiamo. Yeah, that's exactly my name. My name, mi chiamo Cliff. I had to think about what is his name.
Your name is Cliff?
I keep wanting to call you Chris because you told me about your brother earlier. I'm like, nope, that's not the one.
Yeah.
Mi chiamo Cliff.
We just got thumbs up, so that's good.
Oh, nice. Albanese, no way. Yeah. Is Alessia from east of Palermo, I wonder?
We'll see.
From Piano di Albanese?
She lives down by Don Pablo's, the beach place.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that because that's the beach where she took me to go. She's the one that... Well, Peppy took me there, and then she told me I needed to go there.
So, yeah, believe it. I'm kind of caught up in my own. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm glad you were able to tune in. Anyway, so Albanese is... Piano di Albanese is a place that's east of from Palermo. And I actually have some heritage there. So,
oh, cool.
I never knew my biological family, but I did a lot of research into the names. And I did specifically, well, both of them, but my biological mother's name was Musacchia, which is like an Italian derivative of another word that's like Musacchia, that's Albanian. And I was looking up the information and just researching into it. And then I found that there's a settlement, and I think still to this day, there are a lot of Sicilian Albanians there. But ultimately,
we didn't get you citizenship because you have that link.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. You know, 23andMe told me I was French, so I question how much is actually there. But yeah, no, there's a settlement there still to this day.
Oh, you did 23andMe? I did too.
Yeah, I did.
I got a story about that.
Oh, did you? Almost done with mine. Didn't tell me yours.
Yeah, I will.
I probably wasn't supposed to do 23andMe, but I did.
That's okay.
Because I don't know my family, so. But anyway, so.
Well, a lot of people do that, though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What I wanted to know, Albanian, because it's just northeast of Sicily. The Ottoman Empire was expanding to the west, and so of course there was a diaspora of Albanians, some of which went to Sicily, and they had that little settlement there. And as far as I know, I haven't been.
Yeah.
It's still there. I think they have their own like colloquial dialect or language. But when I saw Albanese, it reminded me of my heritage. So yeah.
So for everybody who don't know, if you watched the podcast last week, and last week's podcast has just been going insane online. I was at Kenya, right? Kenya restaurant.
Kinda.
I always say it. Kinda.
Yeah.
Kind of restaurant.
I'm not mad at you.
I was kind of restaurant. I interviewed the owner and the pizza maker. He is killing it making pizzas. He's won so many awards now in Naples. He's killing it. Anyway, she was the interpreter, so she was very nervous about coming on and everything. But she did an awesome job, and I'm going to go back there some other time and do a podcast again. I'm going to have her. I'm going to have her come back on. Yeah, come on. It'd be a lot of fun. That was just a good time. It was a nice setup, and it worked out well. But it was very late because we had kind of wait till the restaurant kind of slows down. So it was like 11 o'clock when we started. But Antonio did great, the owner. And then Antonio, the pizza maker, did great. And then Lila or Lilo. I
think is it a guy?
Yeah.
Oh, Lilo.
Lalo.
Sounds familiar.
Lalo. Because I said Lilo, and they all started laughing.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, it's Lalo." Because
Lilo.
yeah, Lilo sounded better. But anyway, so they've been teasing me about it. But I made up for it because for everybody who worked at Kenya, I made them.
Hey, good job.
Yeah, Lalo. Yeah.
Thank you.
I made them, and you don't know this, but I made them barbecue ribs one time.
Okay.
Because I never had them. So I grew up in Kansas City. So I made them Kansas City style burger. I cooked them for 5 hours, put the barbecue sauce on it, caramelized it perfectly.
Oh wow, that sounds.
And so they never had it before. So and then I made the barbecue baked beans.
Ooh.
And so I took them in, and they just loved it. But they loved the beans. Yeah, they loved the beans, right? And so because I messed up his name, I felt bad.
Yeah.
Right? I felt bad.
You just gave
But
an extra
so I made him like this pot was like this huge pot of baked beans. I took it in the other day and gave it to him.
Nice.
And then so of course he shared it with everybody in the restaurant. But Antonio, the pizza maker, his wife's pregnant, and he said he took the beans home, and his wife just absolutely loved the beans. So they all want me to teach them how to make beans. And then they talked about maybe me coming in sometime and cooking with them. Maybe have a special night that Cliff's going to come in and cook. But I might have to fly Chris in for that, the baker.
That would be amazing. Oh yeah.
I can have minestrone soup.
Oh my god, that minestrone soup is good. I feel like maybe that's a good opportunity for you to learn like a Napolitano pizza recipe or something like that. So you can.
I'm trying to learn the dialect.
Minestrone, I think that's very Italian too. Mm-hmm. You have this soup. I mean, it could be multiple course. Why not?
Why not?
That would be cool. I like that.
Multiple courses.
Yeah, no kidding. I like that. You chose that spot for a menu because it's nice. You get to.
You know what? You know what's funny is, of course, I've never met a stranger, right? So I'm that kind of person that knows it. I just do that, right? I've been in Italy a little bit over 6 months, and I got my friend Pepe. We run around and do stuff. I'm always out doing stuff in town, even though I'm better at the language. Thanks to Alicia. Thumbs up. Good class.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Anybody can teach me anything because I can barely tie my shoe. She's got the patience of a saint. Seriously.
Nice.
I just think it's important just to go out and meet people.
Yeah.
Right? And I think, right, we always said this in America. If you're going to come to our country, learn our language, right? Right? They say that. Well, at least where I grew up, they say that.
Yeah, where I grew up, they did too.
Yeah. So, but there's some validity to that. So, but I can't say, okay, if I see now I'm talking with my hands like. So, but if. I just noticed that I've been in too long.
You're learning Italian.
I'm getting it. At least I got that point down.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think out of respect, you should at least try to learn something.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think for people, sometimes they don't get it. And one thing I know, even in Germany, because I do know German language, is that, well, I used to know German language, but that would come back way quicker than Italian because they didn't know Italian.
Yeah.
But I think it's out of respect. But I also think that the people, especially in Italy, if you outside, except for France, right? And so in Italy, if you tried to speak Italian with somebody here, right, they're going to correct you. They're going to be nice about it.
Yeah.
They're going to help you with it. I know this because I try to talk out in public, and I slaughter the language. I slaughter it. I know. Not so much now, but a little bit better now. But they're very polite about it, and they correct me or they say no. Like I was saying una instead of uno, and I said buongiorno wrong because I have a problem with putting the accent at the wrong part of the word because it's German. German.
Exactly.
And Italian's more of a singing, right? And so if I goof around, my instructor told me this, if I goof around and kind of sing Italian, I do it better in pronunciation.
Good for you. That's a good way
Mi
to do it.
chiamo, mi chiama, or buongiorno, or,
That's
salve, ciao, but I can't say ciao, salve. That's, the German accent on it.
Yeah.
Mi chiamo.
I don't know any German, probably Dutch for that matter as well, but I don't know any, so I don't have that issue.
No. So let's circle back to the 23andMe.
Yep.
Right? So Crystal and I, we did the 23andMe, right? Because we're very competitive, right? So we're going to get down to the DNA level with our competitiveness. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't do it for a long time, but she taught me. She said, "You do it." Fine. Well, we're from Greece, and my mom was first generation in the country. My parents.
Okay.
So we go do 23andMe, and we're listening, and the results come in, and Crystal brings it up, and all I hear is, son of a bitch, right? And I'm like, what's going on, right? So she pulls up my profile.
Mm-hmm.
First thing she sees, you are a direct descendant of the same bloodline of Marie Antoinette that's on your maternal side, which is my mom's side of the family, which we kind of knew that we had royal blood on my mom's side of the family.
Yeah.
Now, my father, who's his real father, left when he was young, so we really don't know much about my father's side of the family. He is a direct descendant of a king of Ireland called 9 and 9 Hostages, which was kind of, you can go from the 7th to 11th century they ruled.
Okay.
Well, if you have this genetic marker, they know you're a direct descendant. And that runs on the paternal. So I have it, my brothers have it, my sons have it. And so I have royalty on both sides. So now, she has to call me Lord.
Nice. I love that. So what did
I kicked her ass on DNA level too.
Yeah, you know what? You did start this conversation out with competition. What did she? I'm curious what she found in hers.
Boring stuff.
Boring stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I even had a higher than normal level of Neanderthal DNA.
So did I. I found it.
I didn't want to say anything, but you seem kind of Neanderthal.
Yeah, So one of the things that is typical of the Neanderthals is lack of spatial orientation.
Mm-hmm. That's why you ran into walls?
Anyway, that is definitely me, unfortunately. But no, it's true. There was that. And then my 23andMe, it was French, which I'm not surprised. So I was born in Picayune, a word that literally means penniless. It's just east of New Orleans, to a family of Cajuns, which I looked into that word.
So you didn't put up Creole? You didn't pick up Creole?
Mm-mm. No, well, Creole is more in the city. It's like more in like New Orleans proper. My family.
Did they speak French at all? Your family?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
you
don't
don't?
know.
Oh,
if they did.
But even your adopted family, did they speak French?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
No.
Oh, that's right. They were in Mississippi. Too far away.
Yeah, right, exactly. My biological
I failed
mother.
Geography in school.
Sounds like that's okay. I'm right there with you. I think I skipped class for that one. We had a good time anyway.
That's right.
Miss Sally, she was a trooper. Anyway, no, it's Cajun, St. Timothy's Parish, North Shore.
Okay.
So they do speak French. They originally come from, prior to being down like the French Louisiana purchase, prior to that they were in Canada, which is where they get the word Acadian, which is where the word Cajun comes from.
Like Resident Evil, they look for the ship Acadia. Did you watch Resident Evil?
I try not to. It terrifies me.
Really? Oh, I love this series. I love this series. Resident Evil, I love it. All 5 of them, I love it.
When the first movie came out, I was in the 6th grade, and I watched the
Really?
commercial.
I was in 8th grade. That's amazing.
Bullshit. You were like an NCO already.
Yeah. I was retired already.
No, I watched the trailer of the commercial, and I had a nightmare.
Oh, really?
I had a terrible nightmare. Yep. That and Jurassic Park, I can't do it.
Oh, I think the best part of Jurassic Park is when you look at the water and you feel it vibrating. From the Tyrannosaurus Rex walking.
Yeah.
So you see the puddle in the water, and all.
Yeah.
You know how they did that?
How?
A glass of water with a guitar string, and you're flipping it, and it would hit the glass, and that would make it ripple like that.
Oh, nice! Yeah. That's brilliant.
But what a great movie! Solution. What a great movie!
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I watched it in my adult years, and it wasn't as traumatizing.
So you only had one blanket on you, cuddled up in the corner.
Exactly. You know, I only had one hand over my
eye. Peeking out.
instead of two. No, T-Rex. That is a very interesting creature. Just fun fact, whenever
you know, they never clapped.
Yeah, well, I'm sure their little arms didn't reach. And I was actually reading, it's really interesting. They have some theories, nothing that's been proven yet that I saw when I was reading about it. But their arms are very small.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, when I commissioned initially, I was supposed to be a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have the reach. I think my reach is like they measure from the shoulder here to like thumb. They call it your thumb tip reach. Mm-hmm. I think I was like 1 or 2 centimeters too short, and they put your shoulder against the wall.
They didn't let you dislodge your shoulder.
No, they put your shoulder against the wall. So
they have to be accurate about it.
Right from the socket. Yep. Anyway, so I got disqualified because I have T-Rex arms. That's what I wanted to let you know. So it's a very common.
You don't have T-Rex.
Well, I don't know.
They're proportional to yourself.
Well, I'm very short. So.
Well, you don't have any T-Rex tattoos, so show me your tattooing arm. So.
Okay.
See.
Yeah, I don't have any T-Rex tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That would be a good tattoo because actually I got this shark right here.
So did you get the spider web when you were in jail? Is that what happened?
Oh, no. So I was in Spain.
It's good to know that you see that on all the prisoners in the movies.
Do you?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why that guy calls me prison tattoos.
I'm serious. They all have this, and it means something. Like you killed somebody or something. Like the eye drops coming out of your eyes. Yeah, but the spider means something. I may be wrong, but it does. We'll have to look into that.
Let me just demystify that. Now, the spider web, actually, I went to, I can't remember his name, but I think it's called a sailor's grave in Rhodes, Spain. And I went and got a tattoo by the guy who owns the shop. And he did this lovely 2 rows and skull combo. And he did the message in the bottle that you can see right here. Yeah. And then he just looks at me when he gets done. He's like, I'm gonna give you a spider web. So I'm just like,
on spider web.
Okay. So he gives me a spider web. Like it was not a part of the plan.
So now you know what you took prison your cred from.
Yeah, I get
spider web.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, don't mess with me.
You're
gonna be number 6 on the dot.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
I never found that grave.
I'm gonna look into that.
But I mean, you see it in all the movies. I mean, all the prisoners, they always have those spider webs.
They have spider webs. No, I noticed the teardrops, but not the spider webs. Yeah. So
the teardrops mean something.
Yeah.
But Alicia's got tattoos, but I didn't see spider webs on her. I don't think she has spider webs on her arm. I don't think her boyfriend had tattoos either. But I only saw him. He's a tall guy. He's like, Lisa, how tall is your boyfriend? He's got to be what, 6'2", 6'3"? He was tall. When we did the podcast at Kenya, he came. And he's a big gamer.
I like when you call it Kenya. It takes me to
Kenya.
Africa.
Yeah,
I've never been there.
Once again, make sure you're paying attention.
Anyway, boyfriend?
Yeah.
He's 6'2".
Oh, he may be big.
He was at Kina.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, kind of overseeing the part. Yeah, but he was kind of funny because he's a techie guy, right? And so he liked it when I brought all my equipment, was setting it all up.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were going to be doing tonight. Yeah. I thought I was going to be muling into the restaurant.
No, he's coming to the apartment.
It's
kind of boring.
That's not boring. I mean, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, having fun. Yeah. Well, we're about ready to wrap it up here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the pop-up podcast with me and Esther. And Esther, I'm going to ask you this before we sign, because I got to keep a time limit. But what tongue-tied here?
I love it.
I know, my brain's moving faster than mine, right?
I'm trying to keep it
in your face. What advice would you have out there to anybody who is looking at maybe trying to make a change in their life or trying to make that first step in that direction? What made you to make that step to get out of the situation you were in is growing up in rural Mississippi, right? For me, I grew up rural. So to me, joining the Army was a way to get away, but my older brother joined. And so I had to beat all of his stuff because I beat all my school wrestling record. So I had to be better than him and everything.
I like that.
Yeah.
So,
because being a woman in the service is not easy. Even nowadays, it's still hard.
No, they had women on ships in 1983. And my very first duty station, the E6, who was my section leader, was like, what do you think about women in the Navy? And he was like, I don't think women should be in the Navy. Like, he just told me that point blank. I was a E3, which is fine.
Culturally, that's.
Yeah. I mean, it had
invading spaces that were never invaded before.
Yeah.
So,
would ask me some interesting questions.
I'm sure.
Oh boy. Anyway, enough of that. But
That's
no,
a
I
whole
would
other
say-
podcast
yeah.
because I grew up with a certain group of people, and then when you join the army, you're around a whole different kind of group of
No
people.
kidding. Yeah.
And sometimes those group of people can't believe you've never been around this group of people.
Yeah.
Not being mad if they just have lots of questions.
Yeah.
Right? They don't mean anything bad.
And they're incredulous because they're like, "Who are you?
Right.
What planet did you come
Yeah.
from?"
I mean, we didn't even have a TV in our house until the 80s.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that's like. I was born in '90, so
Yeah, see? So
that's pretty neat.
So you didn't have a TV either. That's a year out of here.
No,
It's a good thing I'm not triggered.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Right.
you're not a pansy.
Yeah, that's right.
No, the one thing I would say is, I was thinking about this earlier. I really like that poem quote by Theodore Roosevelt, "Man in the Arena." When you're trying, you're the man in the arena. And that's probably the most glorious. The more, like, from my perspective, I feel like the more pain and suffering that you go through, when I look back on those moments in my life, those are the ones that I feel like are special and gifted to me because those are the ones that molded me, and that's what makes me who I am today, and I really like who I get to be today. All of that sounds cliche, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I kind of have an inverted perspective on that because of the way that challenges and adversity shapes you. I feel like the opportunity and the adversity and the pain that you go through is the gift. And I feel like that is what's charmed about my life.
I think I agree with you 100% because I think sometimes people forget that everything in your past shaped your path that you're on now.
Mm-hmm.
And if any one of those things changed, this could have been different.
Yeah.
But don't go back and judge yourself too harshly on the things you did, especially if you're a recovering addict or you're having other things that were going on.
No.
It's important to understand that, but it's important not to forget that.
Yeah. I wasn't an addict, but I'm proud
of
things.
Well, you did talk about drugs a lot, but I'm not going to say that.
Yeah. No. I mean, I come from a bad background, but I'm not ashamed of it because to me it shows that much contrast from where I started out.
Sure, because you chose a different path.
I was informally educated, and now I'm an intel officer. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so
2 plus 2 is 5.
Exactly, approximation.
Yeah, that's how it is.
But no, that's what I think is important.
I think that's really good advice. I think that's it's very deep.
Thank you.
Yeah, and a mental health warrior would like to be very deep. They like to always help and bring things back full circle.
I don't doubt it. That's what it's like being friends with you.
I know.
Well, at least I get
at least I buy good whiskey, right?
Yeah.
But hey, everybody! I want to thank you for tuning in on the Pop Up Podcast. I know a lot of you will watch this later and then appreciate it. But as always, remember the QR code up there on the top screen to your left is you can scan it with your phone. Go to Wreaths Across America, where they have the wreaths that they donate to all the fallen soldiers, all across America. And it's what a great program. I'm so proud to be part of that. And if you missed the podcast and you can listen to it while you're driving down the road in Biloxi, Mississippi, it's super easy to find. That's right. Tractoring.
You might find a John Deere out there, probably a little bit farther north.
That's right. What they say, Chevy won't make a mess of you, but a John Deere sure will.
I never heard that.
Yeah.
But Roger that.
Or Ford. There you go.
I know 3 will get you 2, and 2 will get you fired. But that may be enlisted thing. So
exactly.
I have no idea.
I wish Lynn would have been on tonight. You got to come back on with Lynn. Lynn's on. You guys will have.
I think I need her because you talk about her.
Yeah,
she sounds great.
She's a fun person. She's a lot of fun. You might be a little bit funner. You might be in competition.
Funner?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad
that's a
I
new
am
word,
funner and not more fun. I feel like that's a specialty.
that's a leap
That's a specialty. Like what I was saying.
That's right.
I get to be funner.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love that. You can get a t-shirt made that. I'm funner.
I'm funner.
You're boring. I'm funner.
I love that. I would wear that.
But hey, listen, you can re-listen to my podcast at Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m. Super easy to find. You just download your favorite radio app, whether it's the TuneIn app, the audio app, Odyssey app, or the iHeartRadio app, and search for Wreaths Across America Radio. You can listen to my program, but all the great programs. I think they're up to like 50 podcasts now. But what's nice about it is they play music. And so it's a real radio station. So they play music before your podcast and then they play music after your podcast. And so it's just super exciting. That's
nice.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's really great. Well, Esther, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for staying up late.
I enjoyed it.
You didn't need to sleep anyway.
No.
You're off tomorrow anyway. It's the day
Sleep.
off, so
No.
don't worry about it. But hey, remember, just like I always said, we are our brothers and sisters keepers out there. So hey, let's pay attention to each other. If somebody's gone quiet or somebody's just not acting right, may not have anything serious going on, but hey, give them a call, see how they're doing. Knock on that neighbor's door who may be a veteran. Just make sure they're doing okay. Just a random act of kindness can really change somebody's perspective in a very a quick way. So hey, take care. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, you can go out to VeteranTrashTalk.com for all of our great t-shirts. You can get the Quit Being a Trigger Pansy shirt, and you'll be the most popular cool kid that you never was in school. You'll be cool with this shirt on. So go ahead and get that shirt. And you got the 10th Mountain Whiskey up there in the corner. I just ordered like 8 bottles to bring back with me from when I go to Virginia, because I got to get these Italians addicted to it. And it's easy to do. They already like it because I got used to the cordial stuff. And you're going to try the cordial. You're going to try it when I bring it back. But hey, tune in. Have a great week. And hey, look for my postings come up on Saturday when I'm at the Emmys. And fingers crossed that hopefully with the Able channel, my documentary, that we may actually win.
I didn't even talk about that. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, we should have talked about it. But we'll talk about it some other time. Anyway, take care and have